Hello. Welcome to my channel. Today is the 23rd of March, and the time now it's about past 5 o'clock. So today I'm going to be speaking about speaking life over yourself. I think the last time I spoke about when you make sorry, the last time I spoke about when you're praying, you shouldn't focus on the how. You shouldn't focus on, for example, if you pray for getting a new car, you shouldn't focus on how you're going to be able to get that new car, because obviously you're speaking to the Almighty, and how the Almighty is going to bless you with that car is basically not something that you should worry yourself about. What you need to worry about is that you put your trust into the Almighty. So today I just want to speak about talking life over yourself, meaning speaking positively over yourself, speaking positively over your life, because it's very important. As we always ask ourselves the question of, it's not going to happen to me, so the question that we need to ask ourselves is, why do we think that it's not going to happen to us? Because many a times we see people flourishing in life, we see people prospering in life, and then we think to ourselves that this is not a portion that's for me. This is not something that's going to happen to me. You don't see yourself, or you don't envision yourself prospering or getting ahead in life, because it's not something that you've ever thought about on your own. It's not something that you've ever thought that it would happen to you. So today I just want to tell you that you need to remove all the negativity from your thoughts, from your ideas, from your mind, because obviously it's not beneficial for you to keep wondering and stressing yourself about things that you do not have control of, because obviously everything is in the hands of the Almighty, and the Almighty has control over everything. And I feel like if you, for example, speak positively over your life, then that saying that if you look good, you feel good. And if you obviously think good of yourself, then obviously you automatically you have this glow on your face, and automatically you have this whole new movement and whole new way that you speak, and the whole new way that you walk, and the whole new way of how you address situations, because you have manifested, or because you have spoken goodness into yourself, and you can already envision it, you can already see it happening into your life. So even though you do not see it happening, but the fact that you have a thought of it happening, that means there is a possibility. I remember when I was young, my teacher used to always say, if somebody could imagine something, that means that thing can already be done, or that thing was already, someone has already thought of it, or someone has already put that thing into, executed that thing. For example, if you draw a dragon, because I remember someone in my class drew something like sort of like a dragon, and then the teacher asked him, where did you see this photo from? And then they were like, no, I just got it from my head, and then the teacher was like, actually there was a dragon that looked similar to the picture. So everything that you think, everything that you can envision for yourself, whether good or bad, that means there's a possibility of it happening. So what more when you actually think or envision positivity into your life? How will it be that positivity will not happen into your life? Because if you think about something positive in your life, you will also channel your life, or channel your actions throughout the day or during the day to move a step forward, or move a step closer to getting to whatever it is that you want, or whatever it is that you are envisioning over your life. So I see that many a time, basically I'm talking this for my own self as well, because I used to have a superiority complex. Believe you me, I used to have like back in the days, like I was always that person that was like, I can do it, and there's no such thing as can't, and all of those things, until obviously when you grow up in life, and in some you get tested, there's some tests that you go through, and then obviously even though you said that this thing will never happen to you, or you will not fail in a certain thing, and then you do fail, and then obviously dimmed my light a little bit, or dimmed the superiority complex that I had for myself. It dimmed it a bit, but I was just thinking that whenever I had those envisions and those thoughts of myself, that there's nothing I can't do. I will never fail. If I put my mind into something, I will get it right, and things like that. And 99% of the time, I would get those things done, and I would definitely fall through to everything, and be able to obviously prosper within that. And in the moment I started doubting myself, and in the moment I started having those fears, and the moment I started thinking that what if I fail, or what if it doesn't happen, that thought of what if, the moment it started passing through my mind, that's the time when I actually saw a decline in a lot of the things that I would have thought that would have happened didn't happen, or that I would have thought maybe I would have passed in them. I actually failed in them, because now there was that tiny little bit of a doubt within my speech, or in my thoughts, or in the way I presented myself. Or maybe sometimes, sometimes when you're supposed to, maybe for example, study for an exam, and then instead of you really pushing and doing an all-nighter, you're like, I'm anyways going to fail, and then you sleep. That's the time when you are going to fail, or you're not going to make it, because your mind has already told you that you are not going to make it, and that's the reason why you even sleep. But and if you tell yourself that, I am going to make it, and I am going to cross that, and I am going to push through, you have this positive thoughts in your mind, you have this positive speech, you verbalize it, you verbalize positivity, you think positivity, and that is when you can actually be positive, like the results and the outcomes will actually be positive in your life. And so basically what I'm trying to say is that you need to be positive. You need to have positive thoughts, and you need to speak life in your life. You need to speak life over your business. You need to speak life over your children. You need to speak life over your work. You need to speak life over your money. You need to speak life over every single aspect in your life, whether it be relationships or anything that's revolves and surrounds within you. You need to speak life over it for it to actually be able to prosper. There's a very lovely poem that I like, and I think everybody knows it, as our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are actually powerful beyond measure, which is actually true, because the moment you think positivity, you're like, oh my word, this is huge, this is big, this is great. And then there's a sense of me, like, it's not that we fear that we won't be able to do it. We fear that when we have done it, like the glory, the magnitude of that thing that would have happened, like, would be so great. So that's what we actually fear. We fear the result of the greatness of it, that we feel that we won't be able to encompass it. We feel like we won't be able to grasp it. We won't be able to we wouldn't know how to act once we've actually gotten these favors that we have thought, or we can envision ourselves actually being in that specific place, or that specific what you call this specific growth, or specific thing that we had thought that had like so much of prosperity within our life. So basically the fear doesn't come because we feel that we're not going to pass, or we're not going to make it. The fear is when we have made it, how are we going to act? We don't know how we're going to act. We just feel like it's too much of emotions, like the emotion itself, like it's too much to carry. Just the emotion. Now imagine when you're actually in that situation where you are in that prosperity moment. And another thing also that I want to speak about is that I want to speak about God's timing. And when you are basically in the waiting period, because obviously you're gonna speak positivity into your life, but it's not going to happen immediately. Like, I'm going to make an example. You say that my business is going to make R1 million this year. Which is a positive thing. My business is going to make R1 million this year. The positive thing, but it's not going to happen immediately. So when you are still in the waiting period, where you're waiting for that million rand to actually come into your business, that waiting period can sometimes be daunting, and can sometimes be you can sometimes feel that you are suffocating in that waiting period, because maybe you're seeing that your peers or the people in the same niche or the people in the same business have already past the 1 million rand per year turnover, and they're probably now in the 3 million turnover or 5 million turnover, and then now you feel like, you know what, I feel like this is not for me, or I feel like that's not going to happen to me. I've been waiting for so long, and then it's already, for example, maybe it's already November and December is next month, and we basically the year is almost finishing. We only have like basically 30 days left for the year to end, and we feel like we're not going to be able to reach that million rand of income within your business. So that waiting period can be very, very stressful, because now you're looking at other people that are pushing through, and you can see that it's happening for other people, and then you are waiting for your turn. So in the time when you are waiting, remember, God is preparing you. I know a lot of people don't like to hear this. A lot of people don't like to hear it's God's timing, especially when you are in a stressful situation and someone comes and says, wait on the Lord, wait on the Almighty, or it's not your time yet, your time will come, and just be patient. Those are the words that you don't want to hear. You basically want to hear that it is done, it is sorted. Like, you don't want to hear that you still have to wait any more longer, or you still have to be more patient, because you're like, but how much more patient can I be? Like, I've been patient for 11 months. Like like something's gotta give. So I just want to advise you that not only you, advise myself and you all as well, that when you are in the waiting period, just make sure that you still remain positive, you still speak the positivity, because like I said, even a tiny dot of doubt that you will have in your heart will just disfigure your whole entire plan. So just make sure that you still keep the positivity, and you still speak life towards your business, and you still remain focused. Focus on the goal, focus on the end results, not how you're going to get there. Focus on the end result. We all know that the result is for you to get 1 million rand in the year in your business. So that is it. Focus on that. What happens in between, what happens during, what your peers are doing, what the other people are doing, that's got nothing to do with you. You need to focus on your own self. You need to focus on your own path and on your own road. So whenever you are in, so that will be like the waiting period. Whenever you are in that waiting period, remain steadfast. Do not fold. No matter what happens, do not fold. Remain focused, stay focused. And I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to myself as well, because I know there are so many things in life that you feel like, you have failed, or you feel like you're not gonna make it, or you feel like some things have really dragged you down, and some things have really taken your spirit away, and has really made you feel dreadful, and made actually kill something in you that you thought was alive, and now you're trying to bring it back. You're trying to bring the positivity back. You're trying to wake up in the morning and do your motivational speech over your life in front of the mirror. I am blessed, I am beautiful, I am this, I am that, and and you go about your day, and then still something bad happens, and you're like, but in the morning I prayed, or in the morning I did all of these motivational things, and still I encountered something very dreadful, or something that was very negative in my life. Just forget about all of those things. I'm not saying that your feelings are not valid. Your feelings are valid, but don't take too long being in that space, or being in that situation, or don't take too long being on the ground. I remember there's a saying that says, whenever you fall down, make sure you fall facing up, so that you can be able to get up. Don't fall facing down, so that obviously your body weight and everything is down, and then you're unable to get up. Make sure when you fall facing up, so that it's easy for you to get up. So whenever you are feeling, when you're feeling those feelings, just make sure that you don't stay in those feelings for a long time. You I'm gonna use the word snap out of it, even though I know it's a very wrong word to use. But just for the lack of a better word, just snap out of it as soon as possible. Be in your feels, but don't be in your feels for a very long time. That can also be very detrimental. Be in your feels, but don't stay there. Get yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. And this time, obviously, with the Almighty, this time, obviously, just with more faith, because I feel like also whenever we are going through all this negativity in our lives, our faith also, what you call this, it fluctuates. It's on a low, and then when something good happens, and our faith is on the high, and then when something bad happens, our faith is on the low. So all the time it just keeps fluctuating. So this is the time when your faith needs to actually be at its strongest, at its highest, where you in your fields, you dust yourself up, you try again with the Almighty, and with your faith intact. Never lose your faith, no matter what happens. Never lose your faith. If you didn't hear anything for the past 15 to 16 minutes that I have said, listen to this. Never ever lose the faith. You can do them all. You can do whatever you want to do, but never lose the faith. Keep the faith. The most important thing that's going to help you in your entire life. I'm not just talking about prosperity in business, prosperity in your marriage, prosperity in your home, in your job, in I'm talking about your whole entire life. The most important thing that you need is faith. Yes, money is a means for certain things. Good health is a means for certain things. Your job is a means for certain things. Wealth is a means for certain things. But I promise you, without faith, all of those things mean absolutely nothing. So you need to keep the faith. Pick yourself up. Lift your head up high. Speak positively. Speak positively. Speak positively into your life. Speak positivity into your life, and always keep the faith. And also surround yourself with people that are also have faith, and surround yourself with people that speak goodness in their life as well as your life. Like, don't. I know there's sometimes that we say that don't tell people your things, because they will obviously demotivate you and obviously say bad things about your dream, because obviously your dream is not going to mean something to the next person, because remember, God is the one that gave you that dream, and that dream is specifically for you. If you tell it to another person won't understand. If you come to a person and say you want to be a painter, that person won't understand. They don't even know what the brush is or which brush is for what, so they're not going to understand. So for them, they're going to obviously be like, what are you doing painting for? But obviously, because it's not their dream, so they won't understand. So if your dream is to be a painter, you got to just do this, become a painter, and don't focus on the other people's negativity. They don't even understand your dream or don't even understand your vision. So be amongst people that speak positively into their own life, speak positively into your life, and who will encourage you, and make sure that you don't fold. You keep the spirit up, and you make sure that you are in the best space mentally also, because I know mental health is something that we speak about, but we don't really take it into consideration. I was at home this weekend in the East, and my mom was telling me about I think a 3-year-old or a 6-year-old who committed suicide because they were being bullied at school. I mean, 6-year-old guys, 6-year-old. What type of a mental state were they in for them to even think that I would rather take my life because I'm being bullied? So make sure that your mental health is also in a good space, and so all of those things need to be taken into consideration and put into perspective, and all of those things are things that you need to think about, and make sure that you are a vibe. Make sure that you're in the vibe all the time, and just make sure that you speak positively into your life, as all rounder. Just make sure that you speak positively into your life, and make sure that you keep the faith while doing so. I hope that you have gained something from this video. I know that it's quite long, but I hope that it touches somebody. I hope that it reaches someone that will actually take heed to it, and it will actually make a difference in someone's life. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be obviously talking motivation and a few vlogs here and there, a few videos here and there. But my passion is actually just to uplift people, because I feel like when I was going through a very emotional time in my life, how I was able to get through it was listening to motivational speeches on YouTube, that was actually very helpful. So I hope that this also helps somebody. I hope that I can be able to be that one person that will be able to, when you just feel like you are down or whatever, and you don't know what to do, and you feel like you are starting to think negatively upon your own life, and then you just come onto one of my videos, and my motivational videos, and you listen to them, and it makes you feel a bit better. So yeah, that's where we are heading. That's what we are about. So subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow here in these YouTube streets, and leave a comment as well, to share some insight, if there's any insight that you have. And thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.